Okay, I wanted to show you what we had for engine mounts on this 59 Ford, the black one. So this one had a 3/8 bolt running through it, which you see too small, and it was actually running. We bored a hole. Looks like they torched a hole, maybe. Let's see if I can get where you can see it. Yeah, right there. They just put a hole in it there. Now that motor mount sits up a little bit higher than this other side, but I guess since it didn't sit up as high, they decided they would put the bolt through the motor mount and then weld the bolt down. And that's all they done. So this is the side the rubber was missing on. So we're going to change up a little bit, and I'm hoping, I doubt I do, but I think we may have a set of mounts that's going to bolt on here and possibly, not for sure, but possibly drop right in our holes we need. They're actually for a 67 Mustang. Let me grab them and we'll look at them. Alright, so here's one of them. As you can see, it's just got a single stud sticking out. So we're hoping we're going to be able to bolt these on. And let me see which is which. No, this was on driver's side. So the mount needs to go back. So this one's going to be driver's side. No, this one's going to be, oh, I'm wrong. Hold on. Yeah, driver's side. So this is passenger side. So we're going to try these and see if they sit down in the slots and the holes. If they do, we're lucky. If they don't, it's not a big issue. We'll make them work. But we just got a right and a left is what we got. So check it out and see what happens. Alright, engine mounts are on. It's looking like if we get the engine a little bit farther forward, and that ain't enough to affect our drive shaft at all. Hopefully it won't hit anything, but I think we might be able to get them in them slots and work with them. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I don't think it's going to work like we want it to work. See where that one's at, it's close. And this side, the motor's got to be twisted some. This side's low, but they're not going to go in the slots where we need them to go. This is a wider pattern, or wide, it might have been a wider engine block. I'm assuming whatever was in this, 352 or whatever. But I think we can definitely make them work. We're just going to have to do a little bit of work, a little trimming, a little bit of drilling and changing, and I think we can still use these mounts. And he's going to pull the exhaust manifolds off. And I just noticed while I'm sitting here talking to you, we've got a busted exhaust manifold anyway. So we're going to take them off so we have more room to work. And one of them's busted, the pipe's loose off of it, and the other one is just sitting there anyway. So not an issue there. We need to get them out of the way and we'll see if we can get a manifold or whatever we got to do on this side. So, alright, we'll get at it. Get this wheel off, get the tire fixed, and we're going to get this up in front of the shop because we're going to need to get the welder to it. We're going to drop the engine down on them mounts, and it's pretty level where it's at, but we're going to get it right. And that way whoever ends up with this thing will definitely have something that'll work decent. Now I've got a set of headers, short tube headers. This side would work fine. I don't think they'll work on this side, so I've got a feeling we're going to have to come up with an exhaust manifold. They come out, but I think they hit the steering box. So we'll see. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. It's not a big issue. We'll find another manifold and just put manifolds back on it. I did pick up a new fuel pump. We'll go ahead and get it on. Too bad we don't have a gas tank to pump out of, but we'll figure that out as we go. And we'll get all the little stuff figured out and worked out, get a new radiator in, get it in it, and I think this will turn out to be a pretty decent car. Alright, okay folks, we've got the Ford up here close to the shop so we can get the welder and the plasma to it. And I was looking at the exhaust. I've got these long tube headers and I've got a set of these short ones which definitely will not work. These are stainless. Well, they're supposed to be stainless, I don't know. Anyway, I think what we're going to do is put an exhaust manifold back on this side and then find a replacement for the other side. I just don't like I don't like the whole situation with the headers, not with this thing. I think I could squeeze these in here, but these long tubes, but I don't know. I just don't care to do it. So anyway, we're going to get to work on getting these engine mounts straightened out, and we'll get this header out of the way and show you what I'm into here and what we've got to do. Okay, so now I've got the engine level, and I've also got the engine centered. And what I've done to level it, because the car is not level, I just laid this straight edge across from fender to fender, and then measured down to the edge of the valve cover on both sides, and we've got the same measurement. So we've got it level back and forth. So now I've got the engine centered, and I actually just went by I measured between fender wells, made sure that that hole was centered, and so now we've got the engine centered. The difference is, as you can see where we're at on this mount. Oops, sorry about that. Where we're at on this mount, it's almost where the hole's at. And then if you go to the other side, we're down lower. Hopefully you can see this. Oop, there you go. Well, there you go. We're down below the hole. I haven't measured the holes from the frame over to the hole yet, but we're going to do that. But I'm not so worried about where the original mounts are, and it may be because this mount's shorter. I'm sure that's probably what it is. But we're going to make a new bracket to go over it, and we'll cut out the bottom of this, or the original mount in the bottom, so we'll be able to get to the nut and everything. But I'm not so worried about where it lines up on these mounts, because like I said, I think they're definitely different from one side to the other on the body. They're not different on the engine, on this particular engine. So we're going to just get something together to put them in there good and strong, and so we don't have to worry about them going anywhere. And we'll cut like I said, cut the old mount, frame mount piece out, just so we're able to get up to the nut on the motor mount. So that's what we're going to do now. I think I've got it where I want it, so now I'm going to do the measurements of what I need to make to mount it, and we'll drill the holes and do one mount at a time. Okay, so here's what we've drawn out for this side. We're basically going to make another mount to go over, frame mount to go over top of that frame mount. And as you can see, the pad is 3.5 by 5. We've got our hole location, and these flaps will get bent down. This one will get bent down, and basically it will fit over top of that one. And we'll cut the center of this one out first, and then probably cut it right up to the edge, and then the other one will go over top, and we'll get our, where it needs to be, the new angle, all that good stuff, and then we'll get it welded in good. But the cleanup's going to be the hardest part, grinding it and getting it good and clean. But anyway, we're going to bend this mount up now, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here's my box, basically whatever you want to call it. Got it where it slides right over top. So I've got to do the hole, and I've got to cut some stuff out. I want to do the whole oval shape like that one, or oblong, so we'll be able to pull the engine back out if you ever need to. If I put it round and then just stick it up to the mount, bolt it on, and then weld this in, it's going to not allow the mount to come up and come out because it's at an angle. But I think that's going to work out really well. Now, I made this out of the same thickness that's there. It should work. We'll be able to get it in, get it ground, get it welded in good. So doing the hole is going to be next. And then we'll cut the bottom out of that. Okay, got the old one cut out, got the new one down in there. I thought about adding to the front of this bracket, but I'm not going to worry about it. There's plenty of surface area there. It's not going to go anywhere, and I just can't go any farther forward with my mount. Close it up a little bit here. I'm going to weld all that up, and we'll see what it looks like when I get it finished. This is just a test bit, so I got to pull it back out and clean everything and make sure it's all looks all right. I may have to take a little bit off of this bottom side down here. on the back side. It's a little bit close, so we'll get all that done, and then we'll get it welded in, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I got the other side welded on, getting ready to start on this side, and of course this mount is a lot shorter, so it's going to put my bolt hole farther down on the mount, but that really don't matter. You can see probably where they welded, they had that bolt welded to it through the mount, and here is the mount on this side. I've gotten welded all up and welded the bottom side. Actually, you can see where the heat burned through where I welded it from the bottom side. So it's all welded up. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I'll show you from the bottom. All right, definitely not a pretty weld, but welded all up on this side down. Got our bolt in. We've made it a slot. That way we can pull the engine back out, and we, welded it all around. I may weld that corner up long ways from the top side, but the other one wasn't welded, but I may do this one for it. Now, I was going to extend this mount out, and the reason I didn't, this actual plate on the bottom of this mount is actually steel. So there's really there's no advantage to it. I don't see it going anywhere, so I think it'll be just fine. So we're going to get to work on the other side and see what we can get done here before I've got to stop. All right. Okay, we're working on the pasture side now. For my oblong hole, all I done was a big hole there, a smaller hole there, and then I'll just cut in between them with the plasma. The way it can drop in and slide down, and then we've got a good flat washer on the back side. All right, we'll get her done. All right, so we're ready to go. Now we're gonna take this one and cut it out, and we'll be ready to slip this one in, and then we'll recheck our height on our engine. We'll bolt this mount to the motor mount, and then we'll weld it in place. Okay, we got this one cut out, and we're gonna get it cleaned up, grind it a little bit, and then we'll be able to put our new mount in. Okay folks, we've gotten this one welded in now. You can see it, and good to go on it. So we are just finished up. And now the engine is level. That's where I want it, and we can continue on the fun stuff. And well, fabricating's fun too, but getting everything hooked up, and I need to find the exhaust manifold for the right side. Shouldn't be an issue. And anyway, I got parts coming for this one, so I've got a bunch of parts coming a few parts coming for the 50 Chevrolet too. So I've actually already started on an update video for it, so you'll be seeing some more on it and more on the Nash as soon as the brake parts come in for it. So we're going to do a first drive on the Nash before it's over with. Just a matter of time. So anyway, if you want to do mounts, this is one way of doing them. There's a million ways of doing them. As long as they're good and solid and your engine's where it needs to be, that's your important thing. And this, we can use replacement mounts for it. Should be no issue. All right, appreciate everybody watching, and till next time, bye.